I don't think many people truly understand how much pressure a husband carries because most of it is invisible. I remember a man I once sat with after work. He laughed, he joked, he asked about business. Nothing about him looked broken. But when the conversation slowed, he said to me quietly, Sebastian, I don't sleep well anymore. My mind doesn't switch off. It wasn't because he didn't love his family. It was because he loved them deeply. He was thinking about rent before it was due. He was thinking about school fees before they were mentioned, food before the cupboard was empty, problems before they arrived. That is the silent work of many husbands today. They carry the pressure to provide, even when the income is unstable. The pressure to be strong, even when they feel unsure. They carry the pressure to lead, the pressure to fail quietly, so their family don't panic. Most men are not trained to talk about overwhelm. They are trained to endure. So when pressure builds, they don't always cry out. They withdraw. They become quiet. They try to solve everything alone. And that's why what looks like emotional distance is often mental overload. And what looks like silence is a man carrying weight he doesn't know how to share. The Bible actually speaks directly to this, though many miss it. In Psalms, for example, 127, verse 1 to 2, it says, Unless the Lord builds the house, the builders labor in vain. In vain you rise early and stay up late, toiling for food to eat. For he grants sleep to those he loves. Notice something powerful there. God acknowledges the labor, the early mornings, the late nights, the pressure to provide, but he also once again is carrying it alone. Many husbands are exhausted not because they are lazy, but because they are trying to play the role of provider, protector, planner, and savior without rest in God. Another verse speaks even more clearly. Is 1 Peter chapter number 5 verse 7. It says, Cast all anxiety on him because he cares for you. Not some of it, not the spiritual part alone. All of it. The bills, your fears, responsibility, uncertainty, because God never asked men to be emotionless. He asked them to be faithful and depend fully on him. And home, and here is where practical wisdom enters the home. Wives, sometimes the most powerful support is not advice, it's understanding. Not interrogation but reassurance. Not pressure but partnership. A simple, I see how hard you're trying, can lift weight off your man. A quiet prayer spoken over him can steady his spirit. And a reminder that failure is not the end can restore courage to your husband. And husbands, this matters too. Silence should not become isolation. Strength is not pretending you're fine. Strength is knowing when to kneel, when to pray, and when to ask God for help. Even Jesus himself withdrew to quiet places when the weight became heavy. If he needed space with the Father, so do we. There is a difference between carrying responsibility and carrying it alone. Many good men are tired today, not tired of their families, tired of the pressure to never break, to never fail, to never reset. So pray for your husband, not only when he's struggling, but while he is standing also. Not only when he speaks, but especially when he goes quiet. Because some battles are fought silently, and some burdens are lifted only through prayer. And when a man knows he's not carrying everything alone, guess what happens? Something inside him breathes again.